Gapped up, now selling off a little bit. Apple, obviously also large cap is kind of in this like pullback right here, which is actually bullish, I would say, for a break over 128. So I might on something like this sell cash secured puts on it, but I'll think about that a little bit more. I'm not going to take any of those trades in the first few minutes. So in the first few minutes, it's going to be all about the day trades, small cap stocks, and seeing if I can find something to get my daily goal, which I would say in a hot market is 10,000, but I don't know that that's a realistic goal to set for today unless we see something really open up. I mean, we haven't had any breaking news at 9 a.m. We haven't had any more breaking news at 9:15 that's all of a sudden given us a stock that wasn't in play. So today may be a day to be a little more patient and, wait for those good setups to come to us. So it's important to remember that these high day momentum scanners, they're searching the market for stocks squeezing up right now, right? Moving fast. And so on a day when nothing really else is interesting, a lot of traders are going to be sitting and waiting for stocks to hit that scanner to give them some trade ideas. We all are looking for something to trade each day. And so this might be a day where something pops up on the high day scanner and all of a sudden does, rip up, and traders jump on it. And next thing you know, a stock that, wasn't maybe on my watch list pre-market is all of a sudden moving up and is an opportunity. So I think that'll be something to watch pretty closely today. UTSI, I would continue to say it's right around the volume weighted average price. If it gets back above that level and can break over 93, 94, 95, 96, that might be interesting, but I'm not totally sure on it. And again, now that we're doing the watch list and live trading starting in just a couple minutes, in the main chat room, let's keep chat on topic and make sure off-topic stuff is either in the Warrior Lounge or the support room. If you have questions, we'll be reminding you to keep your mouth closed if you start getting off topic. So don't be offended. We're just trying to keep a little bit of organization here for traders that really are successful and just are here for the good quality content. All right, so let's see. We've got UTSI, EMKR. So for those of you guys who are perhaps starting trader rehab one day early going into the month of September, maybe August wasn't a great month for you and you're having to kind of press the reset button. Well, may not be officially September 1st, but might as well start today. Press the reset button. It's a new week. It's almost a new month. Let's focus on good quality setups. It has to be obvious, and we don't want to force trades. We want to be grateful for the few opportunities that we have, try to capitalize on them, and if it's choppy, no reason to, feed the bears and trade into the choppy markets. Just sit on the sidelines and wait for better opportunities to come along. They will. They always do. GIGM, I see that one. Yeah, it's a very light volume. WKHS, I've seen that one, and I haven't been super interested in it. I wish there was something that I saw that I loved, but there isn't right now. So it'll be a little bit of a slow open. But again, it only takes one stock with 10,000 shares that goes up 30, 40, 50 cents. That can be the one. Yeah, XPEV. So I lost some money on this one on Friday. I'm not going to trade it again. It's right now weak. I'm not interested. I don't know if Tesla and Apple are drawing a lot of attention. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't feel confident enough in Tesla to be. I mean, both Apple and, well, Tesla maybe more so. I could look at a swing trade like an iron condor, which would give me kind of basically a couple different options to just sort of take a trade, knowing that I'll probably have to cut one side or the other, and whichever side I start losing on, I'll cut and then hold the winning side. But I'm not going to do that in the first few minutes. I'm going to wait. BOXL. So this one is currently gapping up 17%. So it's right here. It's 23 million share float stock. The news was out at 8:30, 8:49. It's a little bit of a bounce off the 200 moving average on the daily. It's a stock that kind of has a history of being choppy. It does make moves. Back here it went from $1.50 up to $4.65 over the course of like 4 days. But, you know, now it's faded back down. So unfortunately with this type of stock, you're going to have some bag holders. You're going to have some people that are under the water holding it from back here at, you know, this big green day, or maybe one of these days in here. Maybe they've averaged down and their cost basis is down at like $2. And as soon as it comes up to 2, they're going to try to get out break even. So, you know, as it starts to curl up into those levels, you're going to hit, I mean, it's possible that you're going to hit resistance, and in the form of, you know, people trying to sell their positions. So I don't know. That's probably a problem with BOXL. UTSI continues to hold up sort of relatively well. It's kind of like, you know, above, below the volume weight average price. Sort of has this ascending support. I would continue to say that my order will be at $2, and if it breaks over 192, 193, I might start taking a position for the break of 96. Down here, this is a first 5-minute candle to make a new high, but it's hard to really have the conviction to be a buyer down here at the moment. I don't see what would give you that conviction, really. So with 3 minutes or so to the bell, I encourage you guys to do your pre-trading checklist. Did you eat well? Did you sleep well? Do you have a couple stocks on watch that you like? If you do, what's the condition of the overall market? Right now, the market doesn't look particularly interesting. For momentum in general. I mean, just whether you're long or short, there's not a lot really looking super interesting this morning. So we need to wait for something that pops up and really looks a bit more interesting. I think, at least in my opinion, we need more volatility. Yeah, VVPR, I do see that one did end up making a bigger move on Friday into after hours up to 11, but then pulled back down to 760. So I'm not sure what to think about that. I mean, just based on the pre-market action, I would say, well, that's pulled back too much. But, you know, the daily was a big green candle yesterday or Friday. So, you know, it might be one to keep half an eye on, but I'm not sure. So I encourage you guys to be trading in a simulator, not to trade with real money until you've proven profitability in a simulator. Don't blindly follow me or anyone else. Take it slow. The market will be here for you. Those of you trading with small share size, don't get FOMO because you see me or someone else, you know, making big money. The market will be here for you. Whether it's 6 months from now or a year from now when you start trading with bigger size. If right now you're in the simulator, don't get frustrated that it's not real money. What you have to do right now, if you want to be here for the next year, is you have to prove profitability. Even with small size, even with just 100 shares. So it takes a fair amount of patience and discipline to really commit yourself to that, but it's what you have to do if you want to be here for the long haul. You have to pay your dues, and that's in the form of, you know, a long period of small winners, slow and steady, first in a simulator, then with real money. And so if you went with real money too soon and you got burned, back to the simulator, back to, you know, the right kind of path. And I know that that's probably frustrating at first, but it's the right way to do it. Okay, so 30 seconds to the bell. Nothing I'm especially excited about out of the gates. You know, UTSI is a maybe, but I'm going to be watching the high day Momo scanner very closely to see whether or not we get some opportunities there. All right, so bell is about to ring, about 10 seconds, and we're going to start trading. Well, I guess really just when something pops up that looks good. All right, so let's see, BCRX breaking news. Let me look at that one. So UTSI, I still have that up. Halt levels at $2.22. I'm just going to leave my order up a little higher. BCRX, okay, yeah, I see that there was some news earlier. Sorry, UTSI halt level is 216. So AKCA, this is the acquisition. I'm not trading that. That shouldn't really be moving as much as it is, so I'm just going to leave that alone. UTSI I'm watching. So 92, 93. I'll take a starter of UTSI here. I'm looking for the break of 2. Over $2 is an add. So I started buying as soon as I started seeing green coming in. I've got my order now to add for the break of 2. Watching the micro pullback under 2. Watching. Looking at 97 and 98 for my add. Adding right here at 98 for the breakthrough 2. And now taking a little profit as it breaks through. I did that with 30,000 shares and made $1,444. So this was that pre-market pivot that we talked about at 96. As I saw it squeezing up to that level, I started buying at 94, 95, adding at 98. So full size on that was, let's see, 25, 27, 29,000 shares. So now that was a good entry right there. The high is 204. So now it needs to hold over $2. And if it can hold over $2, then my next trade would be from probably the break of 204 up to 205, 210. The problem is that we are right underneath the 200 moving average on the daily. So the 200 is at 211, and that's a little bit of an issue. It needs to surge through that. And honestly, the fact that it is kind of churning here as much as it is, I think is not great. I think, it really needed to break more. So right here is if it breaks 190, now you have people who are going to bail out who maybe only bought, instead of 29,000 shares, maybe they only bought 2,900. So at the most they were up $140 and they were like, that's not enough profit for me. I'm not going to sell it. And now it's down to 88 and they're like, shoot. All right, well, I guess I'm just going to sell it for a loss here of, $100. So you get that, false breakout. Some people will take profit, others just hold. Then when it fails, you get that flush. So that's an example where you have to be, a little ruthless. You have to take your profit off the table, especially in this market. This isn't the market right now to be adding. I mean, it was fine to add again at 2, but this isn't the market to just not take profit. This is the market to be aggressive in terms of taking your profit off the table. And that's kind of the funny thing with being aggressive, because that's taking your profit off the table early is actually conservative, but you're being aggressively conservative, like ruthlessly conservative. All right, so now our 1 minute chart's kind of screwed up because we have this green candle and then a doji. First candle to make a new high would be a setup. The problem is that at this price range, your initial breakout here was, I mean, I guess that was 20 cents. So your first candle to make a new high, how much can we really expect? Especially with the 200 there, right? That was the first candle to make a new high at 199. So it went to 204. It didn't even come to 205, which was the double top. So, you know, I could put an order at 205, but my concern is that we're so close to that 200 moving average that there might be people that are going to sell and have short orders right at like 211 for a fade off of the 200. So ultimately, you know, if it gets over 215, 220, then I'm going to start being a little more aggressive. Right now, as it comes down, so the high there was 209 of that candle. So first candle to make a new high broke by 10 cents. So, you know, 10 cents is not nothing. I can move my next order to 210. A safer entry might be off of $2, but that always is a little riskier because you don't have the confirmation. You know, a dip trade is, you know, the dip trades are risky. You're saying, I think it's going to hold 2, but you don't know. You have much more confirmation with the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. So as it comes down here to 2, perhaps if I see a big buyer on the level 2, like, you know, I don't know. If I saw a big buyer on the level 2, maybe, but then just like that, it flushes down to 90, 91, and that's going to be really hard. So no more trades on that for me right now. So right now it's churning, maybe accumulating some short sellers. I don't know, but I would say now after that break, it's still, you know, you could do a dip off the volume weighted average price, but again, the problem with that is, you know, it's already kind of showing a little bit of weakness, and it's not, I would be more aggressive buying dips off the volume weighted average price if we'd already had some like really serious momentum. Since we haven't had like really serious momentum, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm not sure if I'm feeling that. So nice, Steven. Green on UTSI. So far, one trade, one winner. With big size, 29,000 shares, but $1,400 is good. It's better than red. And if I don't see any other trades today, then, you know, then fine. At least I have one green trade. Now, this isn't my daily goal yet. I would say at a minimum, I'd like to see 5,000, but that's kind of arbitrary because, you know, the market you're in sometimes is just not going to give it to you. And if you keep trying to push to get that dollar amount, you're just going to dig yourself in the hole. Whereas, you know, for those of you guys who are in, you know, trader rehab or who are in like a period of trying to be really, really disciplined about your trades, this break of the pre-market pivot here with an entry at 94.95, that was a good setup. That was fine. A little extended perhaps on the 1 minute coming into that level, but generally pretty good. So good quality setups, less is more. You don't want to give back profit. You want to be grateful for what you have. I mean, it may not feel like a lot when you're trading with small size, but as easily as you could take that with 250 shares, you could do it with 2,500 or 25,000. It's got 12 million shares of volume. All right, so now we're back to sitting and waiting. If UTSI gets over 210, that would be interesting to me. So now UTSI is breaking back below the volume weighted average price. And now as you look at this, it's like a perfect tap and fade off the 200, right? So that's another one that could go in the classes. If you didn't have the 200 on your chart, or you weren't aware that that was the spot, then, you know, you could have bought into that level sort of, you know, blind. I mean, it's like, it's one of those things that part of it is just through, you know, knowledge and experience. But, and another factor is the position of the moving average relative, because different platforms will sometimes put your moving averages at different places. So I don't know, you know, if you guys have different price for the 200, but sometimes it's an approximate area. You know, 211 is what I show on eSignal, but perhaps on TC2000 it shows 209. Maybe on Sterling it shows 214. You know, I mean, they're not always exactly the same. I mean, they should be, but, you know, sometimes they're a little bit different. So yeah, Mike likes to use the 200 SMA, which I have as a dotted line, but I don't know. That one was at like 220. So UTSI bounced back up off the, I mean, it broke there, but then is back up. So, you know, you could get to a place where it's like, okay, this seems like it is going to rip, you know, through the highs. But I'm going to wait for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high at this point. Yeah, happy birthday. I'll say that I had a history of having big red days on my birthday. I think, you know, it's that pressure of like, I want this to be a good day. And then if you go red, then you're like, all right, I got to turn it around. And you're not willing to just give up with a small loss. And then next thing you know, you're over trading, fighting just to get back to green. And yeah, it's bad. So our current 5-minute candle, it's 9:42. So our current 5-minute candle has like 2.5 minutes left on it. On UTSI, the high is going to put us at 2. So this one may have something. WKHS, I see that one's popping back up. You know, it's a little higher priced and carries, I think, just a little bit more risk for me. So UTSI, you know, back through 2, but a false break, back to 98. SHLL. So SHLL is actually interesting because this is a daily setup. The first daily candle to make a new high. That is a strong daily setup on SHLL. But what we know about this one is that, of course, the price is higher and the spreads can be bigger. So this starts to get a little riskier. The high is 39.96. So this one I would bring the share size down a little bit initially. But if it broke and holds over 40, then I would look for potentially move back to 42. But this is one that could drop 50 cents or $1 a share pretty quickly. So if I was going to trade it, I have to be aggressive in either we see a big breakout and I'm immediately in the driver's seat, or scaling out. So right now, this 1-minute candle still has 10 seconds left on it. You can see an order went through there, a couple green orders. The problem with this type of stock is that it could, PSV, I'll check that one. If it goes the wrong way, it could very quickly become a good size loss. So UTSI, PSV, see there's back to 39.40. on that drop. Again, in a hot market, I'd be more aggressive, but in this current market, I just want to, go a little easy. UTSI back down below the volume weighted average price. That's a kind of big fail right there. It broke over 2 and then right back down. It was a premature 5-minute breakout. Tesla moving up a little bit. Higher priced. I might look for swing trades on it, but SHLL, first candle to make a new high on the 1 minute, would be back over 39.80. I think I'm just going to hold my hands on it for 2 reasons. 1, the volume is light, and 2, it's a little higher priced, and then maybe 3, we're not in a crazy hot market right now. So I'm just worried that even though it's a nice daily setup, the risk is just higher on it right now, and I don't have a big enough profit cushion to, I think, take that risk. I like it, but I got to leave it alone for right now. Now, I did have a nice winner on it a couple of, I don't know, last week maybe? I don't remember which day it was, but, and there's $40.23 on the ask, but you've got 20 cents spread. So if I hit the bid at 40.05, 20 cents of profit, but the risk was probably at least 50 cents. Just want to be a little more conservative today. So PSV halted at 98 cents. We know that sometimes stocks at this price range, when they squeeze up and get halted, that they can start gapping a little bit. So this may be one to keep an eye on. Yeah, under 500,000 is light volume to me. Under $1 million is kind of light volume as well, but definitely under 500,000 is lighter volume. And I'll sometimes trade them, but just have to be a little careful with it. What's going on here? My mouse is frozen. That's very strange. I was on TD Ameritrade and all of a sudden my mouse froze. Huh. PSV, I'm not sure if that one's going to be worth trading. I might just restart my computer. SHLL popped up to 480, so that one's moving a little higher, which is good. I'm going to restart this computer real quick. Where's it? That's actually, I think that's the first time this computer's ever done that. It froze like right in TD Ameritrade. So I don't know. It's bad luck. I'm not sure. Yeah, if I was in the middle of trade, that would be a little upsetting, but I'm already back into light speed, so I can, fortunately, the slowest thing to load is e-signal, but that's not the most essential. So PSV back at 83 cents. I got my ear on the scanners.